Hey my loves, welcome back to Raveena at Home. Today what we're doing is an AMA, Ask Me Anything. Well, my house is kind of topsy-turvy at the moment because we are renovating the bathrooms. So my initial plan was to go to a cafe and record there, but I did manage to find a quiet space in the house. There are questions that you guys have asked me something like 2 years ago, but I'm not so good at technology, so I kind of missed them out. I'm really sorry about that. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can. Mostly they are divided into homemaking, the channel, and some personal questions. So I'll try to do them in sort of that order. Let's get started with the first one. So the very first question is, firstly, I think you are so wonderful. Oh, thank you. Your vibe is so positive. Sometimes I see in your movements that you're struggling, but your voice doesn't give you away, and that inspires me. I especially love your white kitchen, and I want to ask if you have any tips for this. So I think the main question here is, how do you maintain white cabinets and white countertops? There are three things that I would say for sure that you need to do. Number one is that as soon as something drops or spills on it, you clean it immediately. Secondly is to use a solid surface instead of quartz or granite, because a solid surface does not absorb so easily, and therefore it's easier to clean and easier to keep stain free. And another thing would be never to put metal pieces that can rust straight onto the countertops, because that's going to leave a layer of rust at the bottom, which is very difficult to take off. So if you were to follow these three tips, you will be able to manage a white kitchen without any problem. How to keep spot clean home with lots of decor pieces? Please advise for dusting techniques. Okay, I'm a bit unsure about this one. Do you mean how do you keep your kitchen spotlessly clean? If you're referring to spot and stain cleaning, then my tip for you would be to clean immediately something spills. It's the same thing, whether it's a countertop or whether it's any other part of the house, you want to clean as soon as something spills. And if you're working on a stain, maybe some wine that has gotten onto your sofa, always work from the outside inwards. That way you avoid the stain from getting bigger. Use an appropriate solution. Also clean from the outside to the inside to avoid letting the stain get any bigger. If you're talking about keeping your decoration pieces clean, then I would say it depends a lot on what kind of pieces you have. If you have some of this sort of pieces, then it's absolutely no problem because you can just wipe them down. Or if you've got something, hold on, I've got something right here that I'm going to show you. Ow, that was heavy. So if you've got something like this, then it's easy enough. You just need to wipe it, you can wash it, and the base, you can just use a wood polish and you'll be able to clean this. So it all depends on what kind of material your pieces are made of. Now another thing would be faux flowers. If you are trying to clean faux flowers, then the best thing to do is get a Ziploc bag, put some kosher salt into that, any salt that is abrasive, and then you just want to put your flowers in and shake it around a little bit, and you'll find that all the dust particles will get moved and they will get sort of stuck in the salt. So that's the perfect way I have found. I have tried the hairdryer, I have tried so many things, but at the end of the day, it's putting it in salt and giving it a good shake that really works. I hope that covers your question on how to keep your house spotless and clean. You ladies look beautiful. Oh, thank you. My question is that I'm getting married and he is messy, but he's a great guy and I love him anyway. He has a hard time letting go of clutter. Tips needed. Okay, congratulations, you're getting married. I hope you know what you're doing. So this is quite true of many couples. They have different organizing styles. My hubby knows exactly where his things are, but if you ask me, I say it's nothing but creative chaos. But that's the way he rolls. I can't do anything about that. So what you will need to do is you will need to talk to him and see why he considers keeping his clutter. You need to understand where he's coming from. And then for a start, once you've talked to him, you've decided that, okay, he's going to keep these things. The idea is to keep them a little more organized. I would say that you start by giving him a space of his own with dividers inside so he can categorize and he can arrange his stuff. And that is the only space that he's going to get. So he needs to put everything in there. You need to talk to him that spaces that belong to you as well as spaces that are shared in the house are not open to his clutter. He will be given a designated area, and then slowly maybe you will be able to come to some sort of a compromise that you can both be happy with. Now, I would sum that up by saying that you need to find your balance, but always remember to be gentle, no fault finding, and stay solution oriented. Don't play the blame game. So best of luck on a happy future. So the next question is, okay, from where I see it, you manage many things and you do them all so well. Thank you again. Thank you so much. You cook well, you keep home well, you find time to share your knowledge and experience with us. How do you manage everything? You have lost a bit of weight, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into that. The question here is, how do I manage everything? The answer is, if you don't give yourself an option, you will get it done. My personal advice is, if you get started, you will get more than you anticipate actually accomplished. And for this, I would say routines are super important. Practical, flexible routines. If your routine is too rigid, you will find yourself getting stressed out trying to follow that routine. So your routine, which should include everything, should also always be flexible. If you can't do it at a particular time, you swap out. You can't do it today, you do it tomorrow. That's what's important, is to get it done. So keep it flexible, but conscientiously stick to your routine. Okay, and the next question is, do you have help? Your house is so big and you take concern for so many people. I love when you say mini adults. I also love when I say mini adults because they are adults, but they're still trying to get there. So yeah, they are mini adults. So do I have help? Yeah, you bet I do. We have a foreign helper who lives with us and she helps me do the heavy work. You will see her from time to time in the video. You know, she'll be cleaning the top of the fridge or something, things that I can't do myself. And I also delegate. I know I have limitations. I respect my limitations, but yet I have my daily goals. I have a certain way I want my home to function and to run. So delegation is very, very effective for most people, especially for me. It's very effective. For almost 10 years now, Paul is the one who buys the vegetables, he does the marketing, he does the groceries, and then it's my job to put them away and, meal plan and cook. So we share the responsibility, and that really works for us. So yes, I do have help, and I ask for it when I need it, and when necessary, I pay for it. Like getting the upstairs windows cleaned once in 2 months or once in a month. I pay someone to come and do it because I just can't, and I want my home to be clean. So it's all about finding the balance. Next question is, how do you manage a 3-generation home? My mother-in-law lives with me and my kids are so fed up of her demands. Ouch. Your home seems to be functional. Please advise me. I admire you so much. The question is, how do I manage a 3-generation home? Again, like I said, 2-generation, 3-generation, 4-generation, doesn't matter. It's all about planning what you need to get done and to get it done. I gotta admit that one challenge I face is that my family has got different taste palettes and everybody wants something different. My husband and my son are meat lovers. My daughter, as you know, is vegan. And my dad and I are pescatarian. One son is a reducitarian. Okay, so that can be a little tricky. And I would suggest you do meal planning, meal prepping, and mix and match your meals. If you're interested, I could show you how I do that in another video. So let me know in the comments below. Another issue that you face in a multi-gen home is usually a generation gap. Now you have old school and you have millennials. I find myself being the mediator. I talk to my father and telling him that, times have changed. In our time, you used to say sit, we would sit. Now if you say sit, they're going to ask you for how long before they even decide if they're going to sit. So we need to understand that's the new generation. They've got Google for everything. Whatever the parents say is no longer necessarily correct because they have so much more information than we did. On the other hand, there are also times I have to tell my children that this is an old school, this is a traditional thought process, and you cannot break away from it. He's too old to change. I remind myself and my hubby that they are good kids. They are loving, they are caring, and we should be grateful for that. Similarly, we remind ourselves that Dad is getting old, and with age, people change. So I do sympathize with your dilemma, but be assured that these conflicts, I would say, are quite the norm in multi-generation homes. Don't take it personally, don't take it too badly. Talk to your children, maybe your husband can talk to his mother, and find some sort of a balance that you can meet in the middle. Hi Raveena, greetings from New Zealand. I hope you choose to answer this question. I'm curious whether white furniture is better or wood and brown. I'm redoing my kitchen and my bedroom, so I was hoping for some advice. Thank you. This is a very personal choice, whether you want to have white furniture, brown furniture, dark furniture, and I can give you some general tips. I would say that white is a great color for a workspace. The space is calming, it looks clean, and white keeps the place looking light. It's not heavy, it's light. And it's an uplifting color which provides energy. It's also a very easy color to work with in terms of decor. Black too has the easy to accessorize advantage. You can create a look of your choice with pops of brighter colors starting with a base of black. I would recommend that you pick black if you're going for either the industrial look or for a more masculine look. And it's very important to look at the balance of empty space and black, because you don't want the whole area to be super dark. Now, brown is a warmer color, and therefore it creates a cozier ambience than white. So I always recommend browns in different shades of tan, different shades of brown and beige. They work very well in bedrooms. And once again, you can add a pop of color. You can go for something a little subdued, like a sage, or you can go for peach if you like it to be more vibrant. So that is my take on it, that white is great for workspaces and browns are absolutely sensational for a cozy ambience. Just how many hours of housework do you do in a day? To me, it seems like you spend most of your life doing housework and cooking. Ooh, I didn't realize that. Honest confession, if I'm not unwell and I'm left to my own devices, I do way too much. You're right, my life seems to revolve around it. I love housework. I love homemaking. It's my passion, and my family's my passion. So put together, boom, I explode given the opportunity. But yes, my planner helps to keep me in check. I generally do 1 to 2 hours, maybe 2 to 3 times a day, depending on what day it is and how much energy I have. And that includes my decluttering, my deep cleaning, whatever else I choose to do, basic cooking, all in. I don't do more than that. Can you please provide links to your stuff? It is so perfect even for my kitchen, but I don't have any links to purchase them. Love from Kuwait. Okay, so why don't I provide links to products? The truth is, I am practicing shift 50. I started with shift 10, we moved on to 20, and now we are at 50. Shift 10, 20, 50, whatever percentage means that you buy that percentage of products from local suppliers. I believe I'm doing the right thing by promoting and supporting our local sellers. So I tend to buy from them. And although they are online, their platforms are local. So what I can suggest you do is look on your local platforms for similar objects. I cannot give you the links, but you can see the product and try and get similar objects. And by the way, we are also setting up an online shop so that we will be able to help you source the products that you want. So we should have that ready in about a month or 2. I'll let you know once it's done. Since I trust that you give out researched info, I want to ask why you frequently say that mental health is connected to homemaking. Isn't it the physical health, like your energy and strength, more important? I also want to know about how you can something. Okay, so why do I talk about mental health? Because, my loves, mental health determines many aspects of life. How you think, how you perceive things, especially problems, all this stems from your mental health. Being a counselor and studying psychology has made me realize time and again how depression and feeling inadequate at home takes its toll on homemaking, and that ultimately affects our relationships. We need to be mentally healthy and to feel good about ourselves in order to be productive. The physical strength is, of course, definitely helpful, but even that is determined to a high percentage by your mental health. So while both are important, mental health is the foundation of your well-being. So mental health first, everything else later. Haha, this question, I knew it would be there somewhere. Why do you have so many belongings? In Japan, we are minimalistic. I really like your tips and your ideas and tips, but I think you should consider minimalism. Minimalism, me. I have a lot of stuff, I do, don't I? Fact is that I have to cater for many people. Each is an adult, each has their own lifestyle and therefore interests. Everyone's lifestyle has to be accommodated for. My son has a barbecue area because he loves entertaining and hosting while doing his barbecues and his get-togethers. My daughter needs an available amount of vegetarian and vegan food available to her. I need a home office where I work in, a space for me to work. So we all have our needs, we all have our wants. I have to cater for all that, accommodate for all that. So am I becoming a minimalist anytime soon? I don't think so, at least not until my kids move out. After that, I don't know. I'll let you know when I find out. So for now, I'm not a minimalist, but my things are organized. Moving on to the next question. It's wonderful to see your mini adults participate at home. At what age did you start? I too have 4 mini adults at home, but they don't like participating in anything. Now, I'm not sure it was an active decision, but I would say that it's been a progressive process. Initially, they would help me serve, and then they will learn to plate, and then they learn to cook. B is great with salads and dressings. My son is the barbecue king, I would say, and the other one makes a wicked cup of tea and coffee. I believe that each child has natural skills that you can tap on. My barbecue king became a fantastic cook because he chose to. He loves food. I did not expect him to learn cooking. Being an Indian parent, I focused more on teaching my daughter how to cook. But this guy taught himself. Today, he can help me and B plan a menu, shop, prepare, and cook for a party. And that's awesome. I think an important aspect is to have set expectations. They know what is expected of them, and this helps to avoid any form of conflict. Just allow them to do their best, and you do the rest if needed. For example, let's say my son helps me move the fridge so that I can clean under it and behind it. And he puts it back, it's not straight. Okay, so I can do 2 things. I can either scold him and say, hey, what did you do, man? It's not even straight. I don't think he's going to be very keen to help me the next time. Or I can say, thank you very much. Could you just move the angle a little? I think that would be better, isn't it? It would be more constructive. And similarly, I could just say nothing and say, okay, it's just a little bit. Let me do that myself. At least the major part was done by my son, and I should appreciate that. So make sure they don't resent doing their chores, and try to motivate your children. Try by giving them chores that they will enjoy, and then with positive reinforcement, slowly they will do more. The next question is, you do so much every day. How do you keep up? Your house is so clean, you're amazing. My productivity is very low. Every morning I wake up tired and I wish I had done more the night before. Yes, well, a lot of us wish we had done more the night before. So it's important to do more the night before. Not all the time and not everywhere is clean at the same time. We live in this house and therefore we dirty it as well. When my daughter is having a bazaar for 2 weeks, the entire kitchen island is taken over by her. She's got her packing, she's got her stocks, she's got her labels, her lists, everything. I don't get to use it for 2 weeks. And similarly, if you look at my garage, which is right on that side, it's full of construction materials belonging to my son. So yes, these areas are not perfect and they're not in order, but we live here. So no, my home isn't always neat and tidy, but it is not dusty. There are no spills and stains. And what is important is that we reset after every event or every few months. So everything goes back to normal. Next question is, what is your least favorite household task? I would say that would be ironing. I hate ironing. And I don't like washing dishes because it hurts my back. So, like I said, how do I get myself motivated? Because I don't give myself an option. Sometimes you literally have to force yourself to get up and get started. And you will find that once you start, your internal motivation will kick in and you will find yourself doing more than you expected when you started. If you're forcing yourself to do something, start with the task that will have the most impact. The satisfaction of having achieved that will motivate you further. So even if it's ironing, start ironing what is needed the most, what you have the biggest pile of. And you will find that you'll come to a point where you'll say, hey, I've gotten this far, I might as well just finish it. And that's how you motivate yourself, by getting started. And even if you don't finish it, there is no need to feel guilty because you got part of it done. So there's always tomorrow. Seriously, there's always tomorrow. The next question is, hi Raveena, I'm so-and-so from Mexico. I love your channel. I binge watch it. Thank you. I don't see any video on speed cleaning. Can you make a video for me? I don't speed clean. That's the thing. Not really, at least. I keep my house relatively tidy, especially zone 2, which, as you know, is the communal zone. That's where the entryway, the living room, where people come and go. So I find that by keeping this part of my house that the guests see clean at all times, I don't really have to speed clean. And like I said, I'm never scared to say, excuse the mess, we are working on something. We live here, we do our thing, and you're welcome to our home, but we have a life too. And the confidence comes, like I said, from knowing the area will be reset soon. The next question is, what is reset day? I don't understand. Is it like a refill day? What is reset day? I just spoke about it. Now, reset day is the day you reorganize your spaces and therefore your systems. When you feel that things are no longer functioning as you require, you need to plan and then have a reset day. Unless the family member is helping, I think it's best to get the younger children and everyone else out of the house. That way there are less distractions and you can focus on the task at hand. The reset day includes refilling jars and containers, but isn't limited to decanting. Next question is, your site is all about stylish homemaking. It sounds very fancy and I want to learn how to achieve that. Can you please explain that? I'm waiting eagerly for your response. Why do I call my concept stylish homemaking? Because that's what it is. Now there is traditional homemaking with hot scones and crisp, frilly, shabby chic linen. And then there is minimalistic homemaking where the home is a place to rest, but everything else takes place outside the home. If you are a minimalist, you're going to have less things in your house and therefore less cleaning to do. That home focuses on personal needs only. But most of us are something in between. We cater to the family and their meals, and the house needs to be cleaned up after each activity. This is modern homemaking I'm referring to, where we do take away and we try to get things done without being too finicky. We eat leftovers, but stylish homemaking is just that. It's all that, except that when you wash that vase and put it away, you add some flowers into it. Or if you're serving takeaway, that's fine, but just put it in a plate instead of serving it in a box. That's stylish homemaking. It's exactly what you need to do for your home with an eye for detail. Stylish homemaking explained. Raveena ma'am, as much as I admire you, I also admire your apartment. Why did you leave that beautiful home to move into an older classic home? It's such a shame you left that apartment. Yes, dearie, it was, wasn't it? Now, why did I move into an older home when I had such a beautiful apartment? In life, you don't always get to live where you want to, but you get to live how you want to. I have chosen to make the best of this home. Indeed, our apartment was gorgeous and modern, but it was no longer serving our needs. We wanted my parents to live with us, and this home was ideal, and there's enough room here for all of us, and it's also got a lift that made it possible for my mother, who was immobile, to go from the master bedroom on the 3rd floor to the dining room on the ground floor. So it's what we needed at that time. Now this house definitely needs an uplift, and we have been doing that at intervals because we can't, it's just too much to do all together. So yes, it's not ideal to be living here while it's being renovated, but at the same time, c'est la vie. It is what it is. Make the best of it. Make the best of what you have and how you live. You don't always get to choose. where you live. Okay, oh my God, the laundry room is amazing. It's so welcoming. Just out of curiosity, how much laundry do you do? You can watch the laundry routine video and the answer to that will be there. But it's useful to say that I don't wash everything every day. Having a laundry schedule that everyone is aware of, so they know when you're going to be washing their clothes, no commotion, no conflict, and they can organize their needs around my schedule. I also want to stress that you should do some washing every day. And when I say washing, it means you dry, you fold, and you put them back where they belong. That's how you do one cycle of laundry a day. You don't just jump it into the machine and forget about it. I know most of you don't do that, but just in case there's someone out there who forgot the laundry, go get it, switch it to the dryer, fold it, and put it away today itself. Yeah, I did tell you that I hate ironing, right? So I kind of compile all the clothes. I collect all the clothes that I need to iron. I put them in a basket. You've seen me do this in some of the videos. I put it all in a basket, and then I take the basket down when it's ironing day or when I see it's too full. I pull it down and I iron what I need to. And sometimes I finish it, sometimes I don't. But that's okay, it's work in progress. I love your hosting playlist. You don't only clean up well, you also cook very well and a variety of cuisines. What's your favorite? P.S. I love Indian food. Thank you for complimenting the hosting playlist. And what's my favorite meal? I love simple food. I enjoy chilies more than spices. What I do is I make food with just a little salt and spice to suit my dad. But I also keep lots of condiments as add-ons. That way we can all satisfy our palate. Now back to the question. My favorite food is Thai food. I love the trinity of flavors of Thai cuisine. Okay, somebody has asked me a very direct question here. Raveena Ji, how come you don't live with your in-laws? You are an Indian, so why are you not following the tradition? In Indian culture, you cannot drink water from your daughter's house. How come your parents can live with you? I have lived independently since 2002, I would say. My mother-in-law, after that, she would come and go. I never got to meet my father-in-law. And my parents needed me. And it was Paul and my honor to come back and be with them. I respect our traditions, but my priority was my parents' needs and practicality. It wasn't an easy decision for my parents to have to live with their daughter. But we have worked it out in such a way that it is as much my parents' house and they are living with me just as much as I'm living with them, or we are living with them. So we have found that balance, and yes, we appreciate and respect tradition, but practicality prevails. The next question is, what's your favorite space in your home? My laundry room, for sure. I love the way that dingy, damp place has turned into this beautiful space that I can work in, I can enjoy working in. It's really transformed itself, and I absolutely love that. You can see how passionate I am about my laundry room. Next question is, where and when did you learn homemaking? I want to be a certified organizer too. I want to be just like you. Do you conduct classes? And another one also saying, I want to start professional organizing in Bangalore. Where do I start? Okay. When and where did I learn homemaking? I think it came naturally. When I got married, I learned to keep house. I had my babies, I learned to take care of a family. And I mean, in those days, it wasn't really called homemaking. It was just housework. We learned to do what was needed. And I would say I learned homemaking skills as needed. Even when I lived with my parents as a teenager, I loved cleaning. I enjoyed doing things around the house. So maybe you can say I'm a homemaker by nature. It is years of accumulation of skills that have been put together with my academics that helped me define the Raveena at Home concept. To answer your question, you need to have an interest and a knack for this, and academics will make it more definable. There are many courses online, but believe me, if you want to do this as a career, you must really enjoy meeting people and to be able to understand that each person has different goals. You need to be able to provide them with the options But once they decide, whether or not you agree with their choice, you have to work within that and give them the best version of their choice. That can be a little tricky. And on the other hand, I'm sorry, but currently I'm not conducting any classes, but you've given me something to think about, and I might do it in the future. Congratulations, your weight loss is amazing. I lost 26 kilos, and I am so damn proud of myself. And I love your nails. I've cut my nails at the moment. Can you please make some self-care videos? Self-care. The truth is, I am not good at self-care. I know the importance of it, and I'm trying to learn. I really am. But I am far from ready to be able to provide any personal knowledge. But here's what I do know. Being a primary homemaker is a demanding and stressful job. It robs us of our spirit unless we take steps to replenish ourselves. Me time, getting out of the house, spending time in nature, reading a book, getting a mani-pedi, spending quality time with loved ones. These are the things that replenish us and allow us to continue doing what we do. This self-care elevates your mental health and it keeps the dread at bay. We have actually added self-care into the planner because, like I said, we do not want to miss out on this integral element. The next question is, I need to know how you keep up with technology. I don't. Believe me, I don't. I do music and I really want to share, but I'm not good with social platforms and editing apps. It's almost as though tech hates me. I hear you. Tech baffles me too. When I learned to take photographs, Instagram moved on to Reels. By the time I learned to make Reels, they'd probably have moved on to something else. I miss so many messages and comments on Instagram, on Facebook, on Pinterest, because I just don't see them until 2 years later. The thing is, I know I have a lot to share. I have a lot of input. I have a lot of content, but I do not do this to show off my home. I want to teach you to make the best of what you have. I define homemaking in steps so you can adapt the tips to suit your needs. For me, the content I have outweighs my ability in technology. Maybe I'm lucky to have tech-savvy millennials at home who help me. B helps me with the content creation, while my son, the older twin, he is a biomed graduate, but he is a whiz at technology, and he's helping me set up the online store I was telling you about. So I get help. There's no way I can keep up with technology otherwise. I want some time-saving tips from you, ma'am. I'm from Sri Lanka. The goal is to get household chores that matter to you done to a standard where you can live comfortably and in the amount of time that you are okay devoting to these chores. Now, that's the bottom line of housework. How good you want it and how much you're willing to do. You need to find that balance. So here are a few tips if you're forced to spend more hours than you want to doing household chores. The first thing is to practice good enough. Don't strive for perfection. That will save you a lot of time. And delegation also saves you time. And of course, less stuff means less to clean, and therefore it is quicker. Have a home for everything that you own. Don't have random pieces creating clutter. That way you can just pick up and put away without shuffling it between counters. It makes it a lot faster. I would also suggest investing some time in meal prepping and menu planning. Both of these take the stress out of cooking and it makes things a lot faster. Now that you've got me started, I'll probably do a video on this as well. So look out for that. I actually do write about these things on my blog, on my site. So check out the blog I'll leave you the link in the description box below. Check it out, take a look. You'll get full articles on what I have spoken about here. And if you have any more questions, ask me and I'll be happy to do another AMA. Hopefully I'll be back next week and hopefully our bathrooms will be ready and I will have so much to share. So until then, this is Raveena saying happy homemaking. Bye-bye.